Warren Fiscal Court, Friday, April 26, 2019 is now called to order. I want to welcome Dr. John Mark Toby, pastor of Scottsville Road Baptist Church, who's here with us today to offer prayer, and I'd like to ask everyone to please stand for the prayer. And Esquire Lawrence will lead us in the pledge immediately following. Please stand for the pledge. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Let's pray. Dear great and gracious God, we thank you for this beautiful day you've given us as we gather here for county government. We just pray that you be with all the employees of all the agencies of government. Pray that you watch over them, protect them, and provide safety for them, Lord. Just encourage them day by day. We thank you for the service they provide here to this community. We just uplift the businesses before the court today that it might be honoring, it might advance the causes here in this community, and make this a better place for us to live. We're grateful for the great community we have, and just ask that you continue to find favor upon it and go with us as we move forward by faith into the future. For these things we pray in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Face the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Here.
Esquire McWhorter. Here. Esquire Gorman. Esquire Young.
Here.
Esquire Payne.
Here.
Esquire Cummings.
Here.
Okay. We need to approve the minutes for the fiscal court meeting April 12, 2019.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Cummings. Any questions, corrections, additions? There being none, please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Jennifer?
She's back there.
Okay.
Back table.
All right. First of all, we'll start off with Jennifer Schmidt is here to give an update on the grants. Thought I'd catch you back there. Good morning. Good morning.
So I have put a little printout at each of your seats, and this goes over two different funding blocks. The first funding block is grants from the time we started to date. And this year, we have $11,640 that have come in. Ooh, sorry. And that includes a grant for Richardsville Volunteer Fire Department. Some of you may have seen the Daily News article on that grant. It's for AEDs. That includes the ability to put AEDs on all of their trucks, and it includes infant pads. We always hope they won't need to use those, but it will allow them to have the special pads if they have cardiac arrest for a young child. So that was that grant. And then there's $2,000 for the marketplace for their Double Dollars program, which allows people that are turning in WIC, SNAP, some of those to double their money over at the marketplace. So encouraging them to eat and purchase local foods from the marketplace. This is the time of the year where we're applying for a lot of things. A lot of the grants come out in the early parts of the year and then are awarded towards the late part of the year. We have the second box talks about the grants we currently have pending. So we've applied for these grants and we're just waiting to see if we will be getting them or not. Kentucky Department of Agriculture is for the marketplace, and that's for a market manager and then a program to help the farmers in our region. So it would be to hold a conference here to help them diversify. We see a lot of people that grow the same things. We see a lot of strawberries, we see a lot of tomatoes. This would help them learn more about a new crop that may single them out and make them that person at the market. And so it's to help them diversify their crop and increase their income. Richardsville has 2 assistance to firefighter grants that are pending. And the Department of Forestry grant is for that as well. And then the local records grant was with the clerk, and that would be to continue their program to scan records so that they would be digitized and a lot easier for everyone to access those documents, and also protecting the historic books so that people don't have to go in and open older books. They can just get the documents off online. Have several other projects that I'm working with Parks and Rec. Homeland Security opened this week, which is what I was talking to Ronnie about, and we're looking at our options to apply for Homeland Security funds. If you remember, we got $50,000 from that last year, and so we're looking at opportunities as well. We are also closing out one of our grants at the marketplace this year, so we're spending a lot of time making sure we're getting all of our documentation, and we're spending every dollar, because whatever we don't spend by September 30th goes back, and so we're going to make sure not a penny goes back. We had a great event last night at the marketplace, and I hope some of you will come over and see the new crop shop when we get our new equipment in there. We got a great grant from the USDA last year to put some really high-end equipment in that has glass fronts, so you'll be able to walk in and actually see the produce and make it more attractive, more like a grocery store. And we have 4 meat vendors that have great meats in there right now, and so I think we're getting a lot of traction in that as well. Saw Mr. Lawrence enjoying the event last night, and I think that we had a really good turnout for that event. So, and as always, I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys may have.
Any questions for Jennifer?
Well, obviously, you can hear me, from me a lot.
That's fine.
This part is about high-speed internet grants, and I know the Reconnect Kentucky, the Reconnect grants that they're out there, and I know that we're in kind of a weird position because of Warren County's being as well as we are, but we got so many areas of our county that are not serviced, and I mean, obviously, I've been talking with Hilda Legg and a lot of those people and that about what can we do to help us get some money for these rural areas of our county for high-speed internet. I know it's a complicated question. It's a
Well, and I'm
complicated
happy to talk to you a little bit offline. The problem with that grant, and a couple of us have looked at it, is if you pull up the map, there's not a lot of Warren County that's eligible because they count cell phone coverage as part of that.
Right, even with the, I know they changed the rules from 10 meg up to 25 meg up. I was under the impression that truly AT&T is not, don't qualify now because their upload speeds aren't.
Well, and we can look at it again. If, you know, I played with the map tool to try to find those pockets, and then obviously, too, we have to find someone that will do it.
Well, I'd be
because-
happy to meet with you privately anytime, because that's
Yes, sir.
something that's continued to be important.
Congressman Guthrie's office is also trying to change the guidelines on that legislatively. He serves on that committee, and I'm hoping that he can help. One of them we applied for, or we tried to apply for. We didn't. And it was the worst. Well, I don't want to say the worst, but it was. I think it's the worst served area, from my opinion. But that AT&T has things kind of already set. They say they're covering it, but they're really just not. But
Right. And I don't know if the judges kind of giving you a background about, I mean, we tried real hard. We went to a conference. We met with lots of local groups that could provide the service, and they reached out to people in this area and asked,
about
would
100.
would you want new service? And they're like, nope, we're good with what we have. So we got to figure out where that disconnect comes from.
So many people are just okay with this,
Yeah.
and some don't know the difference between DSL and good broadband service.
Yeah.
And DSL is, I wouldn't use the internet if all I had was DSL.
And so that grant has a very large component on, can you manage this afterwards? Well, there's a lot of things that everybody in the county is good at, but we cannot manage. So, I mean, we have to find somebody that's willing to take that on. And I think, we dug into it, and I'm happy to dig into it a little more again and see if we can figure out, because you have to connect those pockets. They can't just be pockets, they have to be contiguous. And so Again, I don't want to bore everyone with the details. We can talk about it a little more in
We'll
detail.
talk
but
privately, because I
yes,
can promise you
sounds great.
people in my area are, I get calls every day about
Perfect.
that, so.
All right. Anybody else?
Thank you so much.
All right.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next, Esquire Ron Cummings would like to introduce some of our students who excel. We're very fortunate to have students who excel in academically, athletically, and in many other ways. And he has some guests here from South Warren and from Greenwood
Yes.
who bring great pride to our community as well.
Thank you, Judge.
Esquire Cummings.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it. I just share a quick story as I shared with you earlier. When I was 16 years old, I competed in a competition similar to what these young people did and was successful. I remember coming to fiscal court and getting recognized, and it was something that, for me, it stuck with me my whole life. So I reached out to these students and their parents. Our local, even Lieutenant Governor Janine Hampton started this program called get the right name for it. It's called the Lieutenant Governor Entrepreneurship Challenge. And many students locally competed. Winners advanced to regional and then on to state. And we've been blessed that we have two of our high schools represented who finished third and fourth respectively in the state competition. So I want to bring them in today, and I'm going to ask, here's how we're going to probably do. I'm going to ask the first group to come up and talk about their project, what they did. Then we'll have them sit down and bring the other school up and let them talk about their. We even got a small video for these young men did, and then I thought afterwards we bring them all up and get a picture, and we've got some small gifts for these youngsters too. So I want to introduce these folks and their parents because it's something to be very proud of. I think honoring students who excel in stuff, I think is real important. So I'm going to invite the Greenwood team up first, and the Greenwood team is made up of Marcelo Teixeira and his parents Maria and Robert are here. And then Trenton Trambot is, help me out, Trenton, is it? Trambowitz, okay. And then Christy Lynn with her mother Stephanie is here. And did Brittany make it this morning? Brittany Lyle? Okay, okay. And then Brittany, they're yeah, absolutely. We'll have you take it here, and we'll build.
Oh, you want to take a
but
picture
anyway,
of them?
these students from Greenwood High School finished fourth place in the most recent competition. I'm gonna let them talk about what they did, the product they developed, and so forth. So the floor is your guys.
So, good morning. I want to present to you guys the idea we created we call Hang Handy. Hang Handy is a simple 3-step folding coat hanger that you can take for your children's clothes all the way through their adulthood life, so that you don't have to buy new coat hangers for your children as they age. You buy our coat hanger when your child is 3 or 4, and as the children grow and they grow into bigger sizes, the coat hanger folds out, and you get a larger adult-sized coat hanger. We've tested it up to 25 pounds by taking a string and attaching a bucket of sand, and you can lift it up and consistently hold 25 pounds. That's an absurd amount for clothes, obviously, as Letterman jackets are one of the heaviest clothing items I own, and that's only 4 pounds. So we really want to target young mothers and other people that really want to save space, save money, and just in those areas that they want to make their lives more convenient. Thank you.
And we were planning on bringing our product, but I gave them away to all of our judges at the competition. So.
Smart. Well, thank you all. And all three of you all are juniors at Greenwood, and I say excellent job. Fourth place is tremendous, and wish you nothing but the success. But thank you very much for coming. If you all sit down, then I'm going to call the South
Do you have a patent for this?
We do not. Then we have students representing South Warren High School, and Ethan and Colin Mooney, Rob and Jennifer Gillum, parents are here, along with Paul and Megan Mooney. And guys, y'all come up. I've watched your video a bunch of times, so I'm gonna let y'all come up and explain to the court what your project was, and then we'll show the video afterwards.
So our product was a lockbox. Me and Ethan had been kind of watching what kind of Amazon's attempts in order to stop porch piracy by wanting access to like homes, garages, and car trunks. And so we developed an idea that was non-intrusive, for the general consumer by placing a bench that's disguised as a storage with a storage compartment disguised inside. And so what the product would do was it would be unlocked for the delivery driver to come up, drop the package, and press the lock button, so it would be a deterrent for porch pirates to come up and steal like your packages.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's about it?
Yeah. Simple, easy
Covered
to
it?
use.
Did you all have a patent on yours?
We do, yes.
Yeah. I think it's going to be something, I think both of these products could be something you might see mainstream marketplace at some point.
Sure.
So let's play the little commercial and see how that turns out.
Have you guys thought about Shark Tank?
Hold on just a second.
All right.
Make sure that the,
So they're sitting.
Hi, I'm Paul, and I'm Ethan, and we hate porch pirates. Porch pirates steal your stuff. Where are my packages? And that's not cool. Fear not, there's a solution. You mean lockbox? That's right, Colin.
Mom, my packages are gone. I need a lockbox.
Tell me how it worked. It's easy. When your delivery arrives, the driver spots the logo, stows the packages in the lockbox, locks it, then walks away. So no additional scanning, no special codes, no ugly containers, and most importantly, no delays for the drivers. That's awesome.
Good job. Well, if we get all the members of court and y'all come back up, we're all going to come up here and take a picture, a group picture together.
Yeah, would y'all?
And come on up, guys.
Please come on up. Coming down. That's good.
I'm also going to present these guys with these are hard to get because they don't want to lock in. We finally put these in a lockbox and protect them. These are some Warren County, Kentucky official pins. So one for each of you all. And congratulations on your job well done. So, yes, it is indeed. We're very proud of you all. Mr. Kessler, you come up here, I should have recognized you. Come on up, he's the South Warren advisor. Come up, take a picture with us, and you too, I want you in the picture with us too, so we get you my name. Because without these advisors, these kids get supported from the schools, this wouldn't happen. So I apologize for missing you earlier. I didn't see you out there, so.
Hi.
Right here. Perfect. And parents, thank you very much. Y'all are awesome for supporting your kids and so forth.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
These students are exactly the type of people, the type of students that we feel excel in our community, not only as students, but they're exactly the ones that we want to keep and retain here for the future. These 5 folks may be your biggest employers here. I know.
Would you get me a copy of that? Thank you so much.
Mr. Comer. Thank you so much. We're very proud of all of you all. We look forward to these kids becoming our biggest employers in Warren County.
I'd like to introduce a couple friends from the Plano area. This is Jared Weaver. Jared is a resident, as long as his wife, Miss Weaver. This is Little Weaver, and then his good buddy Stitch. And I wanted to recognize Jared. Jared's a fellow recreation professional in the field, and he's also a citizen out in the Plano area. And Jared came up with a really cool concept. There are a couple of these around town, but it's called a little library. And so we're going to put up our first Warren County Parks little library. He's been very patient with us because of our schedules, but hopefully within the next 10 days we'll have it up. But I wanted Jared to kind of tell you a little bit about what little libraries are, and I think it'll be a cool addition to G.H. Freeman Park. And then I've been trying to talk him into maybe another one for Paradise out at Griffin. So Jared, it's yours, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Chris.
Mr. Weaver.
I just wanted to introduce my building partner here. This is Keegan. He's
Hello.
helped me. He's going to help me stock the library. He's going to be our librarian. But little libraries, they're just basically a box that you put out in the park, and you can decorate them any number of ways. We made ours look like a little schoolhouse, but they're a free library. People can put books in, take books out. You know, it's just a way to share our love of reading, share our books with the neighborhood. And if Keegan will let me, we'll share our books out there too, because we have many books at home to share with our neighbors.
Well, that's very cool. I can't wait to see this. And this was all his idea.
He helped me build it. It was a lot his idea. We'll see what he lets us put in it. But
great job.
I want to thank the parks for letting us put our project in the park down there next to our house.
That's very cool. I can't wait to see it.
We're
Where is it?
excited.
It's going to be at
Freeman Park in Plano. Yep.
Great. That is developed into a really nice little
Yeah, we like
area
it.
park.
It's a great place.
Yeah. And thank you all so much for your. No, he didn't want to speak. No. All right. I understand. Hey, thank you so much, Jared. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris.
Egan.
And also, Judge, just to let you know, it'll be located by shelter number 2 out at G.H. Freeman Park. It's right where the Born Learning Trail that the United Way installed last year for us. So it'll be right close there, right before you get to the playground. So we really appreciate Jarrett and his son and Miss Weaver for their efforts.
Thank you so much. We need to approve the work schedule for the Warren County Road Department. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Young. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the final reading of ordinance 1910, rezoning property at 860 Glasgow Road from agriculture to light industrial, containing approximately 10.23 acres and presently owned by Let's Chat LLC, Norman and Carol Harned, and Jeff and Betsy Harned.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter.
Second.
Second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 1911, rezoning property on Shaker Mill Road from single-family residential to residential estate containing approximately 4.14 acres and presently owned by Sawyer Williams and with Luke Williams as applicant.
So
So moved.
Motion by Squire Payne, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 1912, rezoning property at 1350 Matlock Road from agriculture to rural residential, containing approximately 5.01 acres and presently owned by Emil Attic. Motion by Squire Young. Second by Squire Payne. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 1913, rezoning property at the western corner of Red Pond Road and Bristow Road from agriculture to residential estate, containing approximately 5.787 acres and presently owned by James Devon and Suzanne Butler.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter. Second by Squire Young. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
The next item is to approve second and final reading of ordinance 1914, amending the budget of Warren County. Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the third quarter financial report for the Hadley Volunteer Fire Department. Motion by Squire Young,
Second.
second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
We need to approve the final settlement for Jerry Peanuts Gaines, Warren County Sheriff, for 2015 through 18 term. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
The next item is to accept the best bid for the emergency generator maintenance bid from Young's Electric Heating and Cooling in the amount of $14,995. Motion by Squire Young,
Second.
second by Squire McWhorter. Any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve determination in the amount of $2,100 to Finn All Seasons for the rental of a bark blower machine to mulch all the downtown properties maintained by the Parks Department as well as all the other properties throughout the park system. This is rented for 7 days and they're a single source vendor.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is simply to make part of the record the certificate of liability insurance for Holland Inc. If there are no objections, that's hereby ordered to be entered into the record. Next is to approve emergency termination in the amount of $3,690 to Charm Tex of Brooklyn, New York for inmate mattresses at the Warren County Regional Jail.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Payne. Discussion or questions?
Steven, is this get us pretty well up to speed and sorry to make you walk all the way through.
He needed one.
Some of the mattresses that we have in our system are probably 10 or 12 years old. And when we reached a 770, which is a record of population this month, we were out. And the issue is if you house an inmate on the floor, you don't have a bunk for them. They have to have 2 mats by the state standards. So we ended up being short. So we had to make an emergency purchase.
Any other questions or for Jailer Harmon? Thanks, Steve. Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes,
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the March 2019 Treasurer's Report.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Payne. Second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, we need to approve the updated special event and tournament application for the Warren County Parks Department.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, we need to approve the updated special event and tournament contract for the Warren County Parks and Recreation.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the security policy and contract for the Warren County Parks Department.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Payne. Any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the first quarter department for local government report for the Warren County Sheriff's Department.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Payne. Questions or discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the first reading of ordinance 1915 authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and Northridge Subdivision Section 10.
So moved.
Motion was Squire Young, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve first reading of ordinance 1916, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and Upton Farm Subdivision.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Payne, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
The next item is to approve first reading of ordinance 1917, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and McCoy Place Phase 4. Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the purchase of a 73-inch vibratory roller attachment for the track loader and skid steer at the cost of $10,352 from Wayne Supply. This is through Sourcewell contract number 132722 for the Warren County Parks Department. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Young. Any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to grant authority to advertise for a body scanner, portable scanner for the Warren County Regional Jail. Motion by Squire Cummings. Second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is simply to make part of the record the Warren County Regional Jail population reports for March 28th, 19, April 4th, 19, and April 11th, 2019. These a new record? Did we just hit a new high?
Not here, because it's only done once a week for the state, but we've actually been to 770 this month.
Yeah.
So moved.
Motion by Squire Young. Second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Still have a very high percentage of local inmates. Okay, the next item is to approve the drone policy for the Ephraim White Park. This is the new drone flying area. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Payne. Discussion, questions?
I don't have a map.
You got a map there?
Yes, sir. I can tell you where it is, and we can furnish you a map. What it's going to be is we're going to have our first drone flying area within the county park system. We worked with the Warren County Regional Airport, Ms. Harmon there, and then also the FAA provided us a lot of information in regards to setting the policies. Ephraim White Park happens to be the only county park out of 39 that is not in some type of restricted airspace. And so the Bowling Green City Police Department, they currently come out and operate their drones above the flight level and flight limits at Ephraim White. So we've had some law enforcement usage out there. There is a local group, the Southern Kentucky Tri-Motor Group. They have about 60 to 70.
You said no. What's the name of it?
Southern Kentucky Multi-Rotor Club. They have local members that like to race drones, and so they have different types of drones that they utilize. And so we've designated the old remote control car area directly behind the senior center. It estimates out to about 150-yard wide by about a 200-yard area that the flight level will be under 100 feet. The way that we came up with that is there are restrictions above 400 feet. For a simple reference point for us, we use the height of the ball field lights. Those are 60 foot plus a 30-foot elevation drop from the ball fields down to the flying area. And we'll be putting up 6 by 6 by 12 identification markers, basically wooden poles. They'll have windsocks on them, so as you're there, they'll be painted neon, a neon reflective color, so it'll be easy to identify, and then anybody in the public will be able to come out as long as they abide by our posted rules to come out and fly their drones recreationally. So we will provide you a map, but if you look on the county, City County Planning Commission website, their GSI app, if you zoom up into Ephraim White Park area and you see that little dirt remote control car spot right behind the right behind the senior center. That's going to be the spot that we're going to start it out with. So
So this is well within the park boundaries?
it's right in the center of the park. And what we did is we tried to find an area. We already had a drone policy for restrictions. Because we've had individuals use drones for things they shouldn't be using drones for. This area is right in the middle of the park. It's easily identifiable and visual from all points in the park by our staff. And then with the restrictions that we have in place, and then with the identification markers that we're going to have, we feel confident we'll be able to patrol that and make sure that everybody's adhering to the rules. But we're excited about it, and we appreciate the local support. And this is, again, another example of the community coming to us and seeing if we can work something out and being able to provide a nice new service.
Any other questions or discussion? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Oh, go ahead. Call the roll.
Esquire
I'm
Lawrence.
trying to speed it up a little bit.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the upgrade to the VSI 3.1 program from Vermont Systems in the amount of $19,857 as single source vendor. This is for the Warren County Parks Department.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Young. Any discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes,
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
The next item is to accept the only bid from Sakaris for inmate communication services for the Warren County Regional Jail. Do we have a motion? Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. And Jailer Harmon is here to give us a little further explanation.
Trying to make it brief. I could talk for hours about it, but I'll make it brief. This is the system that allows the inmates to call local and intrastate and interstate calls to family and loved ones and attorneys and all the above. The Securus contract ran out in February, so we put it out to bid because Amy says I have to do the right thing. It would have been easier just to extend the contract, but she's all the time putting all these requirements on me. But anyway, we put it out to bid. By committing, instead of year to year, if we do it for the rest of my term, we were able to secure some capital improvement money. The initial response said $200,000 each year for the next 3 years, which will help us make some improvements, a laundry room and some other things that we'll talk about in other meetings. But through negotiations, we were able to get the $200,000 the first year to $245,000. So we negotiated an extra $45,000 on the front end of it. This is also where we make a lot of commissions that run the canteen fund and pay several staff, and also account for all of the programs and classes and other things that we're doing with the road crews, supplies and things at the jail. So this is a huge money maker for us. We negotiated a higher interest on each call as well. I think it was 2 or 3% increase this time because we're able to commit for the rest of the term, in addition to the capital improvement grants for each year. In addition to that, there'll be some new revenue streams that we're going to be able to open up, being that we're going to move to a video visitation system, which is, we're not the first county to do it. Most of them around us have already done this. This decreases inmate movement, but also opens up some revenue streams for us that we don't have. So instead of moving inmates every 15 minutes all day, 2 or 3 days a week to visitation, they do this by video. It's all scheduled by the loved ones at home. And so it decreases the amount of involvement we have with moving them, but also they have more opportunities to visit, and we make a fee. We'll make 45% of the fee. All of the equipment that's being put in, it's about $500,000, is all on their end. It's their equipment. We have no cost. There's no expense to us in any of this equipment. Also, that will allow us to automate all of our requests that we do. Everything right now is paper. So all of the requests for medical and the general requests that we get and the grievance process that the inmates have access to will all become electronic. So all of this will help us to be more efficient and be more effective in our operation, all the while making more money doing it. So
This is a 3-year contract?
3 years through the end of the term, yes, sir. Any
We have a
questions?
motion and second. So
We do.
Do you have any further discussion or additional questions for Jailer Harmon?
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, we need to look for as many other revenue opportunities as possible. Great job, Stephen. Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next item is to approve budget transfers for Warren County. Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve first reading of ordinance 1918, rezoning property at 1850 Blue Level Road from agriculture to residential estate containing approximately 3.63 acres and presently owned by KTKT LLC in care of Kelly Thompson.
Second.
Motion by Squire Young, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, we need to grant authority to advertise for LED exterior sign at Buchanan Park. Motion by Squire Cummings. Second.
Second.
Squire Young. Discussion, questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the 2019 Warren County Sheriff's amended budget.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Cummings. Before we vote, we have Sheriff Hightower is here to give us his version of this.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is a wonderful thing. It's an agreement that we've kind of come together to help with the transportation of our emergency mental detentions, which we average each month of about 48 individuals that are taken from Warren County over to Western State. So
How many did you say?
48. 48. We average 1.6 a day transports from Warren County here at Life Skills over to Western State. So with that, how it had normally happened was there was a reimbursement that took place, and that reimbursement just basically just covered almost fuel and a little bit of the transportation costs. But looking at those numbers over the past 2 years, we kind of calculated out kind of how we could maybe almost reimburse ourselves or cover these costs outside of the Warren County Sheriff's Office. So thanks to Amy Milliken helping set up some meetings with all the stakeholders of this, which is the city, Life Skills, the Warren County Sheriff's Office. We met multiple times. So Life Skills is going to basically pay us 1/12 of $110,000 throughout this year, starting the beginning of this coming month. And then the Sheriff's Office will show that we put in $5,000 after that, which will cover some of the fuel and some of the other vehicle expenses. And then the city of Bowling Green is going to come in as part of the stakeholder of this, and they will give us the next $15,000. So total is $130,000. So this will cover 3 transportation part-time folks that we can have basically Monday, or Sunday through Monday, basically 12 hours per day part-time. And this will keep our deputies from having to stop what they're doing, leave their services, responding to calls to transport these individuals. And these 3 individuals we're going to hire, we're going to do driver's training, we're going to do CIT training with them, we're going to do restraint training with them, and operations of how to take these people safely and effectively from Warren County over to Western State. So this is a great opportunity, and the need that as Warren County continues to grow, we just see more mental health recipients of these issues. And so this is just a great way for us to partner together to make sure that we're caring for them in the most effective way. So that's basically the increase is basically the amount of money that Life Skills is going to be bringing in, and then which is going to be offset. So it's $103,000 per year to cover 3 part-time employees. So Life Skills is covering that, plus some for the operational expense, and then what we have in the city of Bowling Green should help cover down. Now, if fuel goes up, that's going to cost the sheriff's office a little bit more, but this is kind of the bulk of any expense that we foresee with this.
Hope it doesn't go up anymore.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
How quickly do you foresee this voting, how quickly will you see hiring those 3 individuals and training them?
Yeah, we hope within the next 2 weeks, the 3 weeks, we can bring them in. We've got a few folks that have applied. We actually had one person that had applied and we were hired, but they had a health issue come up and were not able to do it. But we think we're going to kind of streamline those others that are already in the applicant's process and kind of make sure we get them on board.
I want to thank the mayor, thank the city of Bowling Green for assisting in this.
And let that be part of the record that you actually thank the mayor, so that's...
Pardon me?
Be put that on the record that you actually thank the mayor in public too, which is good.
As I do every day. But no, I appreciate your all's participation. And thank you. Any other questions from the sheriff? Please call the roll.
Esquire
Thank
Lawrence.
you.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the next item is to approve Order 1910, changing the name of Denton Road to Lewis Road. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions?
Thank you for doing this, because this has been confusion for a long time. I'm just fortunate enough to help sell some property up there, and I can promise you it's been confusion for a long time. So, just to clear it up.
Any other comments? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Young. Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is to approve the receipts for transferring delinquent property tax bill from the Warren County Sheriff to the Warren County Clerk. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Young. And now we'll hear from Ms. Yates.
Good morning, everyone. I did want to let you know that we have, the Sheriff's Office has transferred over 1,239 bills, which is really great considering we sent out a little over 51,000 bills that delinquent tax, that's what we ended up with. So that shows a great collection rate.
It's incredible.
So compliments to our Sheriff's Department. But I want to make everyone aware, people are already paying those delinquent taxes, but we have set up our sale to the third party, which is August 27th. So if the taxes are not paid by then, those D-taxes are not paid, those will be offered up to sale to third-party companies that then add exorbitant fees and everything to it. So make sure everyone, if you can get in and get those taxes paid, it's great. Also, I'd like to put in a little plug. Of course, we're in the throes of elections. May 21st, Tuesday, May 21st, we'll have a primary. We are still looking for election officers. We're in pretty good shape, but we would like to have some alternates because it never fails that last week before the election, people start dropping, and then we're searching everywhere. So if there's anyone in Warren County that is registered to vote, you must be registered to vote. You can contact our office. We do have a couple trainings coming up. We've got one coming up this coming Tuesday, a makeup training May 10th. So if anyone is interested, please call our office, ask for the voter department, and we'll be glad to see if we can assist you. Like I said, it's a long day, but it pays roughly about $175, so hopefully we can have some interest. Maybe people can come out. And that's, I think, all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I understand the 1,239 bills, 917,000, that's the number that transferred to you? And y'all don't charge any extra for that? It's just...
Yes, there'll be extra fees added to all of that.
Okay.
So, at this point, you'll have your penalties, you'll have interest, county attorney has a fee, I have a fee, we have an advertisement fee, and maybe it should be back here. that for the bills that we have to advertise in the paper, all of that will be added to that.
When will the advertisement be?
The advertisement comes out generally about a week before the sale.
Oh,
So,
really? So you don't publish their names until right when you're getting
right
ready to-
before, we give them a little opportunity. It's about a week, week and a half right before the sale to say, okay, this is it. There's once we place the ad, then they have to go up for sale. Well, no, I take that back. They do not have to go up for sale.
But they have a payment agreement. They don't have to.
With you.
Have you been approached by several third-party purchasers?
We already have, we're already, yeah, people are, and we have the same groups every year. We have about 20 to 25 different firms that come in and bid on those. And of course, there's always, some of the larger bills are the ones they're always interested in. So hopefully everybody will get in and get their bills paid. Like I said, it's amazing how many we've already collected this week. I said, once they get turned over, it's like they start coming in. So, thank you all.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, we need to pay our bills, so will the treasurer please present the claims to court?
General Fund, $881,131. Road Fund, $79,040. Jail Fund, $763,753. Stormwater Fund, $25,856. Grant Fund, $70,104. E911 Fund, $9,409. And Fed Forfeiture Fund, $1,081. Be happy to answer any questions.
Move to pay claims as submitted. Second.
Motion by Squire Young, pay claims is submitted. Second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Lawrence. Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sheriff Hightower, do you have anything else you'd like to share with us?
Just have a couple things, Judge. I had brought to everybody's attention last month that we'd received a grant for the Narcan, and we had received our training, got the training on Friday, and that following Monday, one of our deputies was able to save a life utilizing the Narcan.
Wow.
So pretty amazing right there. It's unfortunate in this community that we do see some of the opioids and issues that we have, but it's a wonderful thing when community comes together, and the drug-free Warren County was the one that provided us that, but we were able to save a life. So when the deputy got there, the son was doing CPR on his mother, and he was able to help with that, and then they administered the Narcan, and she came around. So it's
rewarding when, even though you don't want to use, you don't want to have to use that stuff.
Absolutely.
It's rewarding when you have it and you're able to
That's exactly
actually
it.
save someone's life.
Yes, sir. I think you all I'm sending a monthly report from the Warren County Sheriff's Office to everybody, so if there's anything you'd like to see any different on that, just let me know, but we plan to send those out monthly, and we may work some on the formatting of it, but it's just kind of a snapshot in what we're doing each month, kind of some of our calls for service on each shift, and some of the other things that you might be interested in as well. Appreciate Esquire McWhorter coming out to Smiths Grove this past week. We had probably about 25 community members come out, asked a lot of good questions, and I think they really did appreciate it. Several phone calls came in the days after, people just appreciating us coming out there and taking care of that. The audit that was done, the exit audit for Sheriff Gaines, I just want to commend the staff for doing a phenomenal job, and the audit came back that they had just done an excellent job on there, and so I just want to thank them publicly in front of everybody for the hard work they do each and every day.
She does a great job.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Ms. Yates, do you have anything else you'd like to share?
Thank you, Judge.
Jailer Harmon?
Thanks, sir.
Mr. Comer?
Just plan on, Judge, next court meeting, given our feasibility study, recommendations for Lowson Associates. They'll be presenting their report
Good deal. Looking forward to it. Mr. Moore?
Real quick, I want to remind everybody that this Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., Household Hazardous Waste Day, Greenwood High School. Again, this has been, we're trying to count up how many years it's been, and this is several, and we've now moved to, a fall and a spring. So we consistently see, 800, 900 vehicles come through, and we collect a large amount of scrap and, chemicals.
Was last year particularly heavy? I mean, how do we keep on getting that many things in a year at a time?
I haven't been into your garage, but I bet it's full of stuff.
Don't go.
Just saying.
Don't go there.
I think we're all creatures of habit, and we all pack rack stuff.
I just hope my wife's not listening to this right now.
Anyway, it was all your stuff.
Yeah. Well, that would probably double the whole, no.
Yeah. Anyway, just remind everybody to come out. It's always a good time. We got a lot of partners that help out, and we've kind of got this process down to where it's real smooth, and we try to keep it pretty quick for the public so they can get in and out. So come early, because I tend to, if you wait a little bit too long, you're going to be in a line for a little bit, but just try to be patient.
Yeah.
What time does it start? 8 a.m. 8 a.m.
8 to 1.
Yep. Appreciate it.
It's worth going out there, even if you don't have anything to get rid of. It's just to see all the stuff that people are bringing in. And that doesn't even include my garage. Mr. Young? Hiding back there. Mr. Pearson? Mr. Brandstetter? Mr. Appling? Mr. Peterson? Ms. Alexiev, Mr. Markram, how are you?
Captive audience here, and the mayor's here. Capital Arts, for everybody on the square, the equipment ships May 12th. So sometime after May 12th is when we're going to close down part of the square for the crane to set that unit on top of the building. So for the most part, there'll be half of the day. There'll be lane closures in the square. They'll have it down to one lane, and part of that time it'll be completely closed.
Yeah.
So while he's here, I want to make sure everybody knows that. So, yeah. And so they've been kind to work with us, and I know we may want to know the exact date. I don't have it yet. So as soon as we know, you'll know. So.
I just hope that the air conditioner holds out until we get it replaced.
I don't think it's working good at all now. So.
Oh, really?
But it is what it is. So May 12th ship date, as soon as we get it, it's on. So they've got 9 of the 16 on top of the jail. Monday, we're going to have a bigger crane in place. Amy, you're going to be put out a little bit. So it's going good. So,
okay, good deal.
Thanks to ESG. They're doing a great job.
I'll be glad when we get that done. Thank you. Chief Justice, Chief Duckett, is he? Neither one of y'all have anything right now? Okay, all righty.
Mason back there.
We have anything else that anyone wants to bring before the court? Yes, sir. No? Okay. Were you wanting to speak, sir? Oh, okay. Squire Payne.
Judge, I'd just like to pass my condolences along to Fred Higgins' family. He's been a great entrepreneur of Bowling Green and Warren County, and he's been a great neighbor of mine. I'm going to dearly miss him.
The whole community will miss Fred. He's just one of a kind. True gentleman, always has a smile on his face. Every single employee of his loved him. He's a real loss for the community. And he's been really active on boards and commissions, and been great for SkyPack. And of course, Kids on the Block was his wife Jamie's. She's the one who started it, and he's been a big supporter of that the whole time. He's really going to be missed. Squire Lawrence.
Thank you, Judge.
Squire McWhorter.
Thank you, sir.
Squire Young.
Judge, just a big shout out to my good friend Alma Martin, who's wanting me to say hi. Hi, Alma.
Okay. Well, hello. Squire Cummings.
Not to prolong, I know we've had a long meeting, but a couple things. Chief Hamilton wanted me to remind everybody the ribbon cutting for the Alvaton Fire Department number 4 is Tuesday, May 7th at 5 o'clock. Out there is the new station right there on Cumberland Trace Road. So that ribbon cutting's been scheduled. Also this afternoon, immediately after this, if we all can hopefully make it out to Campbell Lane, the Realtors Hope for Homeless event starts today. The ribbon cutting's at 11 here in just a little bit. So if all of us could make it out there, I'm sure they'd appreciate that. 7th annual. Their goal this year is over 500,000 food
Wow.
servings, so it's a big deal. And then a special shout out to Jerry Young. He helped me out last week with one of our Alvaton fire departments needed some work done, and he was able to make that happen. I really appreciate his quick response to that. And last but not least, Chris Coomer. I know he's got he's going to earn his keep these next few months because seasons are starting and things are going to be crazy for all the parks department. So I want to give him encouragement and his staff to. The load's coming. It's here upon him. So I just want to thank him in advance for his work. And then last but not least, I attended. I'm sorry. The ISO rate. I mean, I was out to the fire departments, had an ISO rating meeting last week, and I was hoping they might speak about it. But I know we're right in the middle. Going to be looking at all Warren County ISO recertifications and so forth coming soon. So it was a very informative meeting for me to go to and listen to what they got going on. So.
Okay. Ms. Milliken. Mr. Burrow.
Thanks, Judge.
Ms. Smith. Ms. Hale. Okay, our regularly scheduled meeting next is May 10th, 9 a.m. Is there any other business to be brought before this body?
Motion to adjourn.
Have a motion to adjourn by Squire Young, second by Squire Lawrence.